Wednesday night Maction, 3 more MAC games, all on the Wednesday night national TV card. I'm going to give you free plays and analysis in all 3 Wednesday night college football games right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV, breaking down all 3 of your Wednesday night MAC games. If you're liking these weeknight college football free play videos, all I'll ask is a quick thumbs up like, hey, and maybe a positive comment below, and I will keep them coming each and every day. And don't forget, my Thursday night prime NFL game for you between the Jets and Patriots is up right now, free on the network. 9-2 this year on your free Thursday night NFL play, so check that out as well. Click subscribe and click that bell for instant alerts. All right, let's go down in schedule order. All 3 of these games start at 7 o'clock Eastern, so you got a triple play here at 7 Eastern among the different networks. And the first one is on ESPN-U. The U as in ugly, and they get the ugliest team in college football, UMass. Horrendous. We talked about them last week. I gave you a free play winner on Akron as they blew out UMass as expected, 44-10. No question, UMass is on the do not touch list. I'd actually even recommend do not even looking at them. They're that bad. Hurt your eyeballs. One of the worst college football teams I've ever seen, and the numbers back it up. They're being outscored by 25.5 points a game, 37-11 basically, and 36.8 to 11.3, so it's exactly 25.5 points a game. Offensively, they're terrible, both running and throwing, and they're pretty bad defensively against the pass. They've actually been mediocre against the run, and I bring that up because Northern Illinois runs the ball okay, but is a terrible passing offense also. In fact, these are 2 of the worst passing attacks in college football. Both are only averaging about 4.5 yards per pass attempt. You know, normal is like 6.5, 7 yards per pass. So do you really want to lay 10.5, 11 points with Northern Illinois? No, I do not. But do you want to take UMass? No way. So let's look at the total instead. 43.5, 44. I'd play the under. Neither team can throw the ball. UMass has actually been decent against the run. And if you look at Northern Illinois' defense here, they've been pretty strong overall, giving up just 5.3 yards per play against teams that average 5.5. Only way I would touch this game is under. 2 ugly teams. Let's just play the under 44 at 7 Eastern on ESPN-U. All right, the next game's a little bit better. It's on ESPN-2. The Deuce gets the best game of the night. Toledo, Miami of Ohio. And this Toledo team, we talked about them last week, gave you an easy free play winner here in the video with Toledo as well. You know, we had that 44-10 win with Akron, of course, last week in their blowout, but also gave you Toledo their 42-3 win against Northern Illinois. So we played against both Northern Illinois and UMass. And what I told you in that game was when bad teams can't throw the ball and they get behind, they can't catch up. And that's why we saw the 2 blowout wins against Northern Illinois and UMass, as we just discussed. Now Toledo takes their 4-1 conference record on the road against a dangerous Miami of Ohio squad who's also playing pretty good football. Miami of Ohio also 4-1 in conference games. Actually, Toledo, just 3-2. I misspoke. Just 3-2. Miami of Ohio 4-1. But you feel like Toledo's had the better season because they're a 4-point road favorite in this game. And the money has come in on them. They opened 3.5. It's up to 4 now, including 4 minus juice at some of the sharper books. And I don't disagree with that move. If you look at the overall numbers this season, Toledo has been the better team. Even though Miami of Ohio has the better conference record, Toledo has been fantastic overall in their MAC games. They've won by an average of 22 points a game in conference play. Miami of Ohio has won by about 8.5 points a game. Miami of Ohio is 5.6 offense, 5.0 allowed in conference games. Toledo, 6.6 yards per play, allowing just 3.7. However, I talked about this last week. One of the reasons I liked Toledo last week in this video, and I also put that up, by the way, as my nightly free play last Wednesday on my WagerTalk page, which means it was the last cut for my best bet card. It was a strong opinion. By the way, those bonus free plays hitting over 70% over the past month. Make sure you go to my page every day to get that free play. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. But one of the things I pointed out last week was that Toledo had been very strong at home this season. In fact, all 4 of their home games this year have been wins. Actually, all 5 now have been wins by 24 points or more. They have not been as good on the road this season. In fact, they were 0-4 straight up away from home. So I'm not in a hurry to lay points with a team that has not won on the road. Even though they're the better squad, Miami of Ohio has a little bit of a scheduling edge here at home. Probably the best option, once again, is to look at this total, 44.5. It's now up to 45. So we've seen a little bit of the sharp money come in on the over in this one. These are 2 good defensive teams on paper, but I think both teams can probably move the ball offensively as well in this one. Toledo averaging 6.3 yards per play. Miami of Ohio has averaged about 6 yards per play against teams that allow 6.1. So if you really look at the matchup, both defenses have a slight edge here, and we'll run the math in this one. This is something I've been pointing out in recent videos. A lot of you have asked me about this. What I do is when I'm setting totals, I look at average points against the average points played. So, for example, Miami of Ohio's games have totaled 47 points this year, and Toledo's games have scored 47.5. So you would say, well, then why would you play under 45? Well, the reason being is because when you factor in the opponents played, Toledo's opponents have averaged about 46.5, so they've only been about a half a point, 1 point higher than average, whereas the Miami games, while they've scored 47 on average, those opponents played have totaled 50. That's 3 points below average, so that gets you down to about 45. So I think both the side and total look pretty accurate in this one. Two teams that can move the ball offensively, but it should be a tight game, and I would probably lean under 45 or more. It opened 44.5. South Point, a very square book, is actually at 45.5 now. And 44 and 45 are both key numbers. So if you get that 45.5 or higher, which is starting to show in a lot of spots, maybe come back in on the under at that point, but a very light lean only. I think both the side and total look pretty accurate. I do feel Toledo's a better team, but they haven't won yet this year on the road, so it's hard to trust them laying points in this spot. All right, your third game also at 7 Eastern. This one over on CBS Sports Network is two teams we did not talk about last week because they were both on a bye. Buffalo at Central Michigan. So both of these teams have been off since November 1st, which means they have a full 10 days of prep for this game. So no edge either way. Buffalo coming off an impressive 28-3 underdog win at Bowling Green in their last game. They have won 3 out of 4 in conference play, but they were double-digit favorites in 3 of those games and actually lost one against Akron, so not a very tough schedule. Meanwhile, Central Michigan comes in off a narrow loss, but a cover at Western Michigan a week and a half ago, and they are 2-1 straight up, 4-2 straight up their last 6, but more importantly, 5-1 against the spread their last 6. Since conference play has begun, Central Michigan has been a very underrated team, and they have covered 5 of their last 6 games. But here, once again, I'm going to look instead at the total in this one for a few reasons. First of all, Central Michigan is a very simple team to handicap. It's all about the run, run-heavy attack. They average almost 189 rushing yards a game overall, 274 rushing yards per game at home this season. But what really jumps out to you is they run the ball 43 times a game. They only throw about 14 times. This is like military academy type numbers. When they throw, they're averaging 10.5 yards per pass, but they just don't do it often, so we don't put much stock in that. So the key becomes, can Buffalo stop the run? And on the surface this year, Buffalo's been a pretty good run defense, giving up just 3.4 yards per carry. But they've done it against a weak schedule that averages just 3.7. In conference games, they're allowing 3.4 as well. Decent pass defense, really good defense overall, giving up just 19.5 points a game. But their offense has been mediocre. 6.5 yards per pass against teams that allow 7.5. Central Michigan's weakness this year has been defense. They haven't been a great defensive team, giving up 5.8 against teams that average just 5.3. But once again, Buffalo, a below-average offense. I still give Central Michigan the slight defensive edge, especially with the bye week. Now, it is interesting. Buffalo's had the extra week to prepare for the run-heavy attack. And when we talk about like option teams and teams that run the ball heavy, I've always said the bye week is critical to prep. So I do think Buffalo has a little bit of an edge in that regard. Currently, the line is 1.5. It opened 2. We have seen a little bit of money come in Buffalo on this game. On average, they've been about 5 points above. They've outscored their opponents by about 5 against a schedule that's 7 weaker, so they'd be -2 in my net power ratings. Meanwhile, Central Michigan has outscored their opponents by 4 against a 3-point weaker schedule, so they're +1. So if you do the basic math there, you could say Central Michigan is about 3 points better on a neutral field, plus they have home field advantage in this game. So the line does look a little low at -1.5 to 2. I would probably make a fair line about 3 to 4 based on the math, but Buffalo has that advantage of the bye week to prepare. I think the better play again here is to look at the total. I would lean under 44 in this one. Two teams that will probably look to run the ball, keep the clock moving, and I just don't think Buffalo can take advantage of that subpar Central Michigan defense. Hey, there you go. Not 3 of the prettiest games. Hey, the Toledo Miami of Ohio game on ESPN-U is pretty good, but the other 2 games are pretty ugly. Hey, that's MAC attack, MAC action for you, but we handicap them nonetheless because these are high-profile national TV games during the weeknights, and I know you all love these games. You love to play them. You're doing your own handicapping, so I always want to give you as much information as possible. You know, I've basically done every college football weeknight game for the past several weeks. I've given you every NFL Thursday night game, 9-2 on those free prime games this year. Don't forget Jets-Patriots is up here on the WagerTalk TV for free as well. And I'll be back with your Thursday and Friday college football games. So if you're finding it useful, all I ask is a quick thumbs up like If you have a couple extra seconds, say a positive comment below. And more importantly, include your analysis. What are your thoughts on these 3 MAC games Wednesday? Where do you see an edge, side or total, in any of these games? What are you playing? Hey, let's all learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. And don't forget, click subscribe and click that bell for an instant alert so you never miss out when these free plays or videos are posted each and every day here on WagerTalk TV. Now, these free TV games are nice. If you do play them, I'd recommend like 1% of bankroll, light TV leans. But if you want my official best bets, the games I'm actually using, same games I've won consistently with for the past 29 years as a full-time professional bettor and handicapper. It's always been the same. Since I started back in August of 1996, if I'm using a game, all my clients get it. It doesn't matter if you're a 1 day, a 1 week, a 1 month, or a 1 year subscriber. Everybody gets the exact same best bets. And now's a great time to be an all-sport, all-access client because there are 3 major sports, actually, 4 major sports going at once. College and pro football and college and pro basketball. And, of course, baseball just finished. We went 11-2 this baseball postseason. What a fantastic playoffs. What a greatest World Series I've ever seen as well. And we cashed in big. Baseball right around the corner, just a few months away next spring. Right now, if you'd like to try 10 days all sports, that'll get you obviously football and basketball, just $99. Normally 7 days is $99, but I'm giving you 3 more days for free because I really want you to get on board here in November, one of the most profitable months of the year. No promo code needed. It's on my homepage right now. 10 days for the price of 7. 10 days for just $99, all sports. That's less than $10 a day. It's about $5 a play because I average 2 to 3 best bets per day. Or if you want to get that baseball next year along with college and pro football and basketball, all 5 major sports for 365 straight days and nights, check out the 1 year all access special with the instant $500 discount plus a bonus 25% coupon. No promo code needed on that as well. That gets it down to about $3 a day, about $1 a play for every football, baseball, basketball, college, and pro best bet for 365 days and nights. Now, look, if you try the 10-day or the 1 year, it doesn't matter. You're getting the same best bets each day, just different entry points. The 10-day sampler is great for you if you're new to WagerTalk or new to sports betting. But if you're ready to take that serious, consistent investment approach, I highly recommend the 1 year and get it down about $1 a play with that instant $500 discount. Full details, no promo codes needed. They're both listed on my homepage right now above the daily free play. I mentioned earlier those bonus free plays are hitting over 70% over the past month. So go check out today's free play with analysis. Check out the special offers and my strong best bets, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. On the way out, don't forget to follow me on social media on X and Instagram at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L, Merril, at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to WagerTalk TV because there's more free play videos coming up next.